Posting on social media can be incredibly intimidating. And then we have this whole other layer of, well, what do I post? All I want to do is promote my music. I'm a musician. I get it. So because this is something myself, my other musician friends, we all have to figure out, we all deal with it, this video is dedicated to discussing content ideas for musicians. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna break down now a couple different categories so that you can make a list of the type of things that would fit for your personality, your brand within each category. And then make sure you stay till the end because I'm also going to reshare something that came out about 2 days ago. It's incredibly helpful about how to create content for all these different social media platforms. So it's definitely something that you guys wanna check out. Number 1, entertainment. In the entertainment category, of course, let's talk about the people who are just funny. There are just inherently funny, interesting people, or maybe you're just someone who has a really good insight. Maybe you're a podcaster. And so you're able to kind of share some of those insights, but as quick little videos that either could be stories, of course, but if you just pick up your camera, do a 30-second bit, that can be great content. Also, memes. Obviously, memes are incredibly popular and it's very easy to make your own memes from the funny pictures that you have, the interactions. And so anything that has kind of that entertainment value, put it in that category and make a list. And then as you kind of go along, you'll be able to kind of freestyle this stuff and you won't have to think about it so much. You want to do what's natural, what's organic for you. Now, something else that you can kind of do within this entertainment realm is think about any and all skills that you might have that someone else might not know that you have or might otherwise just kind of find entertaining. If you're a painter, then it doesn't have to be anything where you're looking at the camera, trying to engage. Maybe the camera is now on the art piece that you were creating. Do a time lapse. And guess what? You can put your music to that. Think of kind of secondary content. And I know this is a question for musicians who just say, I just want to promote my music. Well, this is kind of a creative way to do that. So now you can show a skill set that you have that might be interesting to your fan base, but now you overlay your music, your latest single, so you keep kind of promoting softly, but you're offering something that otherwise might just be seen as entertainment. And then also in the same realm, let's talk about your actual content. So you just made a new music video, and let's say the music video is for your song, it's 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes. Well, boomerangs, you can make them a whole lot of ways. There are apps, you can do it in Premiere, it's however way that is most efficient for you. Take a few seconds from your music video and you can splice that up to endless boomerangs, or it's gonna be quite a bit. And then guess what? From that interesting boomerang that's now looping for 30 seconds, you can add your song. And so now over the next month, promoting your new song, your new music video, you get to re-emphasize the music video by doing those boomerangs. And then of course, it's quick content for stories, not just for Instagram, but for Facebook, and you can even put it on TikTok. The next category is education. What do you know that you can share? In your actual realm as a musician, do you play instruments? Do you sing? Can you add and offer something to other singers, let's say, about your techniques, kind of interesting things that you've learned along the way? Taking yourself outside of the musicianship or the artistic kind of realm now, well, let's talk about just maybe something that you know. Did you go to cosmetology? And so maybe you know how to do hair or nails, or you know how to make something out of wood, and whatever it is, this is now very, very interesting to someone who doesn't know how to do that. And so you can once again kind of feature those items on your social media, and whereas it might not be interesting to you, it might be super interesting to your fan base. Now, not everything's gonna fly. Obviously, you trial and error, but sometimes trying to find the things that you can kind of softly say you're an expert in, whatever that means to you, but just you know it well, and so you feel comfortable sharing it. When people do ask me questions, it's usually within the realm of intellectual property and how music makes sense with law and all this crazy stuff happening in the industry. So knowing that that's kind of a skill set or an educational component that I have, that's the thing that I share. Hence this video. As you're working through and you're sharing the things that you have some expertise on, you might even find that there's a real need for it. And so it becomes a key component in what you share, your social media strategy, and you might even be able to actually deep dive into something that's of particular interest. And so even, with me understanding that there really was this need, with independent musicians who need information, who are asking for help, and especially even just with the music contracts. That's why I decided I'm gonna write a book and I'm gonna put this information out there and I'm gonna include these contracts that otherwise would cost thousands of dollars. And again, it was because I just became aware that there really was this need. And so for you and your audience and what you're trying to do, this is why kind of putting these things into practice is gonna help you narrow it down and make you that much more valuable to your fans and your followers. The next category is documenting. So of course, when someone, let's say, goes to a show, they want to see the show, they want to remember it. If they didn't have a chance to go, they're going to hope someone else captures some footage. Well, what you can do, and what is some of the most interesting content for your fans, is the behind the scenes. The before the show, of course, during, if you have kind of a different angle from the stage, and afterwards. From the tour bus, the after parties, maybe kind of interviewing softly your bandmates. This is the kind of stuff that is so invaluable to your fan base and will help you to grow. Now, other than, let's say, tour life, maybe you're not on tour right now. Let's talk about you're making music, or if you're not making music, talk about why not. What are you doing right now? Maybe you're taking a break, but it's just kind of expressing your own story. And so for other musicians who are following you, they can kind of even, tag along and know what you're going through, or if they're not. Nonetheless, there's a lot of interest and people want to know because it's the very idea of reality TV. We all watch this stuff because we want to see what other people are doing. And I think softly we all like to compare ourselves. And keep in mind that when it comes to your super fans and maybe the fans that are a lot younger and they really idolize you, they're gonna care so much about the details. They're gonna care about what you wear, what you eat, if you go to the gym, what your workout regimen is. And so be willing to share some of those things and do it quick. Don't overthink this stuff. Share it to your story, let's say. And then if you go back and you are able to pick out the best things or the most interesting things, you can now kind of reshare that as feed posts. But all this kind of plays together because it's going to make you not only more interesting, but it helps people just to get to know you. And it brings that connection that much closer together between you and your fans. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. What kind of inspired this idea was that this week I had a phone call with one of my clients, and it had been a while since I had connected with this particular person. And when I went to go see kind of what this person was doing on social media, I had noticed that there was just very, very little activity, maybe one post a month. And that kind of broke my heart because this particular person has so much talent and, so much kind of to give and so interesting. And so, but there's things holding not just this particular artist back, but a lot of us. And so that's why I wanted to just address this. And within the music marketing realm, yes, we have to be consistent in what we do. We have to have our own strategies for each different platform. But equally, sometimes it's good just to sit back down, go back to the drawing board. And so that's why I wanted to specifically touch on these 3 different categories in this video. Now that you guys have a couple different categories to sit down and start structuring out different things that you can make and post that's on brand and specific to you as an artist and as a person, I also wanted to make sure to share that Gary Vaynerchuck, who's, if you don't know who he is, huge social media influencer, and he does so many things, but in the creative realm, he released this over 200-page ebook, and you can download it. I'll make sure to put the link down in the description below, but it goes through all kinds of ways to make easy, quick content. So once you have your list of kinds of things that you want to make, maybe you can take a look at his PDF, actually start making your content and get right to work. Be sure to come and say hi on social media. I'm most active on Instagram and Facebook. It's been amazing to meet you guys, and I really, really love it, especially if you have additional questions or video topics that you would like me to cover. We release videos just like this once a week, so don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell notification so you get notified every time you have a new video from your new favorite redhead. I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm Miss Crystal.